So I just want to take this opportunity to say that I have met Jackson Robert Scott in real life, and he is the cutest, sweetest kid imaginable. Just wanted to get that out of the way before I talk about him being a creepy little shit.
I'm no longer speaking to Miles. I'm speaking to the person who has taken residence inside his body.
The Prodigy is directed by Nicholas McCarthy. It stars Jackson Robert Scott and Taylor Schilling, and it tells the story of a young mother struggling with the fact that her son's disturbing behavior might be supernatural in nature, and worse, he might be sharing his body with another person's soul. This movie definitely had me intrigued from its first teaser trailer. It offered just enough information regarding the notion of reincarnation to have me interested, while not revealing too much else about the plot. Now that I've seen it, I'm really not sure that there was much else it could have offered. The Prodigy is a film that's really standard. It has a lot of good things going for it, but outside of those things, it falls into territory that we've seen a lot in creepy kid films. Jackson Robert Scott is easily the best thing about this movie. This kid's young as hell, but he has a ton of talent, and he really steals every scene that he's acting in. The way he flips from cute and innocent to creepy as hell on the drop of a dime really showcases his acting talent. He'll just shift personalities in the middle of a scene and start saying really creepy, chilling shit. The scene involving the psychologist and the metronome and him going into a past life regression, that scene is truly chilling and probably the best scene in the film by far. This movie also had a couple moments where it toyed with the idea of synchronicity between events and reincarnation. Easily one of my favorite instances happens at the start of the movie. The killer's shot dead on the ground, and then it match cuts to newborn Miles, with all the blood and afterbirth mirroring the exact placement of the bullet holes on the other guy's body. Little details like that I thought were excellent. And I really wish they had played with that concept more, because they really only do it about twice in the film, and I wasn't really satisfied with that. The thing is, a lot of this film is fairly predictable. And mind you, that isn't a bad thing. Predictability and cliches aren't inherently wrong, and it's not like this movie is trying to reinvent the wheel. But at times it does get difficult when you're able to predict everything that's going to happen, and it makes it harder to get invested. And that's a lot of what this movie was, until the third act. There's a point where Sarah makes a certain decision, and I literally sat up in my chair thinking, wait, they're not doing this. And then they do it, and I was like, fuck, that's dark, and that's insane, and a new direction that I never expected this movie to take. And at that moment, this film differentiates itself from all of the other movies like it for a hot minute. And the turn this movie takes in its final act is something I really didn't expect, and I've never seen in any of the other films like this, and I loved that. Unfortunately, right after that, this film gets pulled right back into familiar territory, and it ends with setup for a sequel that I really wouldn't care about either way. I was really applauding this movie for the brave territory it entered during those last 15 to 20 minutes. I just wish it kept up that momentum. And honestly, that's where my negatives come in. As far as my dislikes go, there are none that were so massive that they really detracted from my enjoyment of the film or affected the score that much. They were more just little things that added up and bothered me a bit. Sarah's character is woefully underdeveloped, while her husband, who gets marginally less screen time than her, is way more fleshed out as a character. The psychologist talking about reincarnation in a serious manner just struck me as very funny. Like, I know there are scientists that study that phenomenon, but the way they're discussing it so matter-of-factly as though it's an exact science just struck me as really hilarious. And the film's rules aren't particularly well defined, specifically regarding the reincarnation elements. A lot of it just feels arbitrary. Arthur talks about a kid in India who's sharing his body with a spirit who's been dead a considerably long time, considering his siblings are all older and his mother's on her deathbed. But then why place such significance on Edward dying at the moment that Miles is born? Why is 8 years old the limit before Miles' soul might get absorbed? It feels weird to set these limits on something when they're not consistent, and ends up feeling like just a means for plot convenience for Sarah to get desperate enough to do what she does at the end. All in all though, like I said, none of that really detracted from my rating any. The Prodigy is just a decent creepy kid movie. It's not trying to be anything else. And I'm gonna say that The Prodigy is good for fans of creepy kid movies. It's like The Good Son meets My Soul to Take, and for what it's worth, that's fine. It doesn't reinvent the wheel or anything, but I don't think it's trying to. If you're bored and looking for a horror movie to watch in theaters right now before Happy Death Day to You comes out, check it out. It's not like this movie isn't worth your time. It's just not going to blow your mind or anything, and personally, I think you could wait until it comes out physically. But if anything I've said here interests you and you want to check it out, go check it out. You might enjoy it. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this channel and you want to see more, click down there, like, comment, subscribe. There's a Patreon link down in the description if you want to help support this channel, help us grow and develop and make new, better quality content for you all to enjoy. Please consider donating. Even $1 would help, but even if you don't, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all very soon.
Come here, baby.